So what are we gonna see today as we get started here?
Sanctuary
Victory?
start for both runners. Oh, power gloves. Oh, that is an excellent early find.
Indeed. That's gonna be a really good strong find. They can even go to the back of the escape right now if they really wanted to get those.
Yeah, Hitzian is heading left, Claypa is heading right. But gonna need a bomb to check out the back of escape. And if you want to do an early Houlihan play, you'd also need a bomb for that too. So Clay is actually going to do another way of activating Houlihan, which is to go in this cave here, exit, and then jump into the water several times. This displaces their sprite on the map, so when they lift up the bush to the left of the water and fall down a pit, the game is not going to know where Clay is falling into, and it would dump them into the Houlihan cave instead. Hitzian is doing a lumberjack check. Looks like there was just arrows on her ledge.
Yeah, it looks like it was just 10 arrows there as well.
Now, early Houlihan play is something you tend to see a lot more often in Keysanity compared to other modes, because with all the keys and maps and compasses shuffled into the general item pool, you'd get a lot less rupees that you would normally expect to find in the overworld. So getting an early bit of cash so that you can do all your Kakariko duties is much appreciated by runners.
We just stored my piece of heart for Hitzion in the meantime.
Now, Chloe's lifting up a few bushes here south of the grove where the flute boy resides. Some of these bushes have a 50% chance to drop a bomb, so yep, there's a bomb for Chloe, and they will probably use that to open up the hut in the southwest of Kakariko and farm some more bombs that way.
Or use it here on the race game and then buy bombs in the shop. This is another option.
Indeed, that too. But Chloe is actually going to check the race game first, just a compass. As mentioned earlier, maps do have some value in Keysanity, but compasses, they just tell you how many chests are in the dungeon, and most runners will know how many chests are in the dungeon and how many they've opened. That's a big key on the library ledge. Ooh, that's interesting. We don't know if that big key is necessary or not. We have no idea what it is until we potentially find boots and pick it up.
Yeah, pretty safe bet that boots are going to be more or less required for this. And hey, a lot of money there for Hitzion, along with the map telling us, well, we'll know later for about Ice and Desert House when they to the map.
And some bombs from chest too, so Hitzian's not going to have to do some farming, so he saves a bit of time compared to Clay here. Clay does buy some bombs after getting that one bomb, which they didn't end up using, but since there's a lot of cash in Blind's basement, doesn't really put them back in at all.
Yeah, let's see what the chicken has for us here. Oh, it's a big key. Misery Myers. And the well, a very dense item location here.
%20 refund from Ball Offender. Clay's
Moon
down to
Pearl.
100 rupees. Moon Pearl in the well. That is very, very crucial item. Doesn't really do much for us yet. We still need some means of getting into the Dark World. We do have a Power Glove, so all we need now is a hammer or the Titan Smiths to get that Dark World access.
Yeah, but hey, finding the Moon Pearl's a lot. This can be helpful. Well, obviously, it's a required item. Nice chicken clip there from Hitsu.
Yeah, the chicken clip is it's funny to see, but if you're not careful, it can crash your game. You got to be careful with it. You don't want to get too reckless with clipping this chicken.
Yeah, you can soft lock.
Hitzian also topping off their bombs in the shop, so both of our runners going to be at the same level of cash here. Now
the question is where they're going to go next.
Well, given Chloe's cash right now, given they did a Houlihan play, they may be thinking of going to make an early Zora check. If they pick up some more rupees somewhere else, they've got the power gloves to get all the way over to King Zora and see what he's selling today.
Going all the way just to see King Zora without flippers doesn't seem like too great a play to me. I think maybe just riding in South Shore as well.
Right, but if you've ridden in South Shore, you can then fake flip over to the Zora area, and because our runners have a moon pearl, they can also check out the waterfall cave due to the way the item IDs work. So that incentivizes the fake flipper play a lot more, and also going over to King Zora.
Indeed. It's gonna take he's blind running the race. And expected
Yeah,
same
both
thing with Gloria and that heart piece.
Yeah, they both see items they don't like and save and quit immediately.
I feel that a heart piece would have given Chloe another container though, based on Hition's life total. And it looks like both of them have the same idea of going to check the back of Escape.
You've got the gloves, you've got the bombs. It's a very good time to go do so.
And you get another bomb in return for killing the rat. Alright, 3 items. What do we got? Oh, shield. And the hammer! And information on Skull Woods. That's really good.
Dark World access just 6 minutes into a Keysanity seed. That is fantastic.
So now, with that hammer... Ooh, do they do South Shore or do they go straight to Dark World? I think it's too early to go Dark World right now. Even though you have the option.
Well, Hitzian's going for it, whilst Chloe's taking the more conventional South Shore route, starting off with the dam here.
Yeah.
At least when you're in Dark World, you don't have much health, you don't have much in the way of fences. The hammer is a great weapon, but the hitbox is awkward to work with. But it's pretty easy to just get over to Hype Cave here and check out 5 items. Just watch out for the moblins and the bomb spewing flying green bug thing. I don't know its name.
I remembered it I had it at one point, but I think it's called a Zero? It's a weird name. I don't know that much.
A lamp in Hype Cave, blue mail, 50 rupees, 3 bombs, and a heart container at the beginning. So you get quite a lot of survivability there, and all your dark rooms are now in logic. So that's a pretty usable Hype Cave. If this was like a Hype Cave for like an hour in and you got the heart container and stuff, it'd be much less value.
Yeah. This is actually somewhat of an interesting route divergence we have here. It's basically, Chloe does not want to stray too deep into the item sphere logic. Wants to check the sphere ones just to make sure that all of their and they. Meanwhile, we get a small Misery Mire and another male upgrade. Turtle Rock Monkey and the single rupee. Yay. I guess.
Hitzian is trudging all the way up the pyramid. They may be thinking to go to Catfish straight after this. Oh, bow on pyramid. Tasty.
That's a huge find, because that gives them full access to Palace of Darkness right now. Well, I say that, but then I remembered it's Keysanity. We don't have keys.
Yeah, you need a whole bunch of keys for pod. If you route it in a certain way, you could end up needing 6 small keys. But if you're careful with what you check and what you skip over, and use some fancy tricks like the famous hammer yump, you can get through with about merely 3 or 4 keys, depending on how much you want to clear up a dungeon.
I want to say without any keys at all, I think there's only 3 chests available. The ones that would normally be bow locked and the shooter room that is normally not locked by anything.
That's correct, yes. Now, Clayper is done with South Shore, is immediately checking out Hype Cave himself, so they are already kicked out in red mail less than 10 minutes in.
Yeah, they're not going to be picking up too many heart pieces this time around. Red mail's more than enough, honestly. Alright, Catfish, what do you got for us today? Heart piece.
And Claire's getting a bit of info on dungeons here. Ice Palace and the Palace of Darkness are both crystals. 5/6 crystals.
Those crystals being important because they'll unlock the super bomb of the shop, which can potentially lead to 2 more items. And what we know, one of them is bulkily. Well, we don't have the keys. The other one, we kind of don't need the keys for that one, but at the same time, it's not clearable right now because we don't have a fire source or a way to deal with the freezers. And hey, the good shield now.
A fire shield from Stumpy, but we want a fire rod, not a fire shield.
Yeah, and we don't want to see that mirror shield. Unfortunately, that's gonna be an annoying find, but it would account for laser bridge logic, I guess.
But that and the mirror shield just looks great. It's a big bit of metal stuck on the front of your character.
Yeah, but it does cause a little bit of lag from what I hear. In game.
Hitchan checking out the dam and then immediately walking over to the desert area. So he can't get in desert right now, but he can check out Agina at least and what's on the ledge outside Desert Palace.
Yeah, going over here for Agina is also an okay play. It's a one-off location that not many people want to go out of their way to do, but it has paid off in the past that something has been here. So usually if I get something like an early food, I tend to check it sooner rather than later.
Chloe's heading over to the Eastern Palace here. Probably going to be checking out Shalashashka's hut here. Getting 3 items. They may dive into Eastern, or they may decide to just go into the Dark World and check out the Pyramid, Catfish, or maybe even dip into Pod and get those first 3 items.
It really can't go wrong with what Chloe's doing here. Pendant is Skullwood, so green pendant is there. Ammunition for the bow. 20 rupees. Oh, but that's the mirror right there. That's a really good find.
Yeah, that actually is great for Clay because it means they could just go into the Dark World and... Oh, nope, they're not going into the Dark World. Okay. Well, they could have gone into the Dark World, check out a bit of Pod, mirror over to Eastern, check a bit of that out, then take the portal back, check out Pyramid, etc., etc. Would have been a bit awkward without the bow, but we know the bow's just on Pyramids. Hopefully they don't put it off for too long.
Yeah, hopefully they don't put it off for too long. Another thing they could be doing is going to do the escape sequence, because now with that mirror, it is a very tempting option to go down all the way and then just mirror out to sell this cell. And with the lamp, it is the remainder of the...
Well, for the escape sequence, you do not need any small keys at all. That's available to you whenever you like. You just need some means of killing the guards in there, which is readily available with that hammer. But
Actually,
if you want to check out Aga Tower, that's awkward because there's one item you can grab, 2 items you can grab in there, and they are blocked behind small keys.
Actually, sorry to cut you off, but that's actually not the case because there is a little bit of key logic. Because if you misuse the key, you can either lock the chest beyond the first guard or the back of escape, which is not going to be the case this time. So anything that's locked behind that first guard is going to be... They're going to consider that you have the Hyrule Castle small key. Kata Samaria on the Spectral Rock, though. That's a huge item.
Yeah, the Hyrule Castle small key would generally only be necessary if you wanted to get through to the back of escape, and for some reason you didn't have gloves to take the gravestone to get to the back of escape. It's there is a locked door between the Dark Cross Room and the rest of escape, which you need a small key for. So we do not know if Tower of Hair is a pendant or a crystal, but Chloe's going to be... They've got a light source, they've got a means of taking up Moldorm, so let's go check it out. No big keys, so we're not going to be able to get up to Moldorm or anything, but 3 items to check here in the bottom of Tower of Hair.
Meanwhile, I just looked away and missed it. First hint to read. Well, that's purple chest, and that's not anything we really care about. There's the small key to the swamp, though. That's fine as well.
And Chloe is just moving out of it. But yes, at least Swamp Small Key is great to have because if it's Swamp Palace is a crystal, you could be hunting for that small key pretty much everywhere except for Ganon's Tower. But finding it in a nice convenient location like that means you just have to worry about getting the items to access Swamp Palace now, not the keys. Bombs on the floating island on top of Death Mountain. And Hitian is making use of that moon power to check out Waterfall Cave with a bit of fake flippering. Nothing in Waterfall Cave. But he does have lots and lots of cash for King Zor now, so he's going to be checking out the Zor ledge. Won't be able to grab the item there, but can see what it is and check out what King Zor is selling.
Oh, that's an interesting thing there, the Book of Medora. May not be required, but it'd also be important. Meanwhile, big key for Ice Palace found by Chloe.
Yeah, no means of getting that Book of Medora yet, unless you do some very fancy tricks of storing water walking from the Ice Rod Cave, but I believe those require boots, so Hitian's not going to be able to do that. But he does get a Quake Medallion from Zora, so that has a good chance of being useful, or another chance of being completely useless. We don't know yet. We're going to have to see the dungeons.
Yeah. Quake is still useful, though, for stuff like ping gators or stuff that you just want to get rid of.
Big key for Desert Palace in the bottom of Paradox Cave, so
they happen.
those are keys for Desert Palace. When we get the flippers, essentially Desert Palace is in no mode right now. It can clear out all of it. Big key to Thieves Town from the uncle, and there was an Ice Rod.
And big key to Dark as well. Whoa, got some good stuff.
A flute in Paradox Cave. Okay, that is a seriously loaded Paradox Cave.
And a blue bottle for Hitian as well. Man, we just found a whole burst of items.
There's value everywhere right now.
Yeah. In terms of items, we're missing the Fire Rod and the Hook Shot. And most likely also 2 swords and the boots. We don't currently know if Swamp's a pendant or not, but we could need the flippers.
So Chloe is immediately activating that flute, so get your 07s in chat if you appreciate what's about to be unleashed from the statue.
Oh, speaking of flippers, there's Hitsy. I'm finding them right there in the first chest of this dungeon.
Okay,
the Sanctuary Escape. Yeah.
Most of Swamp is open now. Can't get to the boss without a hookshot, but it's there. You can also get to the book and get into Desert Palace with those flippers, and clear out all of Desert Palace once you get the big key. So, so much value here.
So much value indeed. And actually, didn't we find the Desert Small Key? Or no, it was the Desert Big Key.
Just the big key.
We could theoretically do a full. We can go all the way to Lamola's, although the Small Key is considered unlogic for that. And it's again just in case you use your keys in your available keys in the worst way possible. Might work. Or sometimes you can tell that I haven't done this in a while. I guess.
Chloe making use of that mushroom and the cane of Tamai to do a very quick fake powder at the magic bat, and was cursed with 20 rupees for their sequence breaking. But now they're going to hand in that mushroom.
Zelda only has 20 rupees, and now Hitian is going to take a Death Warp. Which is going to be slightly difficult because of red mail, but still gets it done.
That is a very nice mushroom. You get a sword for your troubles.
Something sharp.
Chloe accidentally flew to the spot they were just at, and is going to try again.
It's happened to me before.
So Chloe's going to take the long way around and get into the west part of the Dark World. This isn't that great for them, because it means they're putting off that pyramid for later. But I do believe that thanks to having that mirror, they will be checking out the pyramid before even thinking of going into Eastern or Pod, and they will get the boat before going in. But it's just a case of how long do they put it off for, and what might be in those dungeons.
Yeah, Chloe, meanwhile, is definitely checking out the Village of Outcasts area. A few items here, and we also have Thieves Town, which we could explore for at least the preliminary 4 chests.
Etienne taking the whirlpool to the Sora area again, on the way to grab that book now.
Yeah. The book
So,
does... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, they don't have that Desert Palace big key from Death Mountain yet, so... and they don't even have any swords. They can check out what the tablets are. They can't really... they can also check out a bit of Desert Palace, but they can't make too much progress with that book.
Yeah. No, the book is not required for... Well, the book actually could be required for desert access, if the Titans are in there. Second sword for Chloe in the meantime.
That allows you to just... will allow Chloe to just straight up grab the items from the Ether and Bombers tablets. When they get that book, of course.
Yeah. The book being right there.
So if you don't have the Master Sword, you can read the tablets to see what they have, but you won't be able to grab the items from them. The Master Sword is a hard requirement.
Yeah. Because... say, hold up the Master Sword to receive the power of Bombo/Ether, depending which one you read.
Another Mizumaya small key. There's quite a lot pointing towards Mizumaya at the moment. No Titans missed to actually get inside, but you've got the flute. There's at least one medallion available, so might be quick to get inside. And the early cane and lamp really help for Mizumaya.
First item in Skull Woods is only 20 rupees. Ooh, that's bad for Chloe.
Just manages to get around that hard hat beetle.
Yeah, that was extremely close.
The mandatory small key to Skull Woods is always in that chest, because if you don't get that small key, you're kind of stuck inside the dungeon. But Chloe has a mirror, so they just decide to mirror straight out.
Yeah, I believe in version 31, for competitive anyway, they're actually going to take out the... D. So, if you're going in there, you better be really careful. Oh, it is a potential chance. Sorry, I don't know very much about that.
Hitzian's making their Death Mountain pay now. There is a wealth of items for him to get here.
Including a hint that I don't think Chloe ever read.
I don't think so. I think Chloe just had to look inside to see what the item was, just cash, and the hint was just saying, just walk away.
Ah, those joke hints. Always get you.
I mean, it's entirely appropriate for what the item was in front of it.
Yeah, but you had to walk all around and pick it up just to read the hint. So it's one of those...
Linkface.jpg.
Desert is a crystal. We just saw a brief map check from Hitzion, and it did show up as Crystal 7. Chloe is going to be checking out Graveyard Ledge here. Another potential item.
Oh, Hitzian didn't check out the East Death Mountain because, of course, they don't have the mirror. Ooh.
Yeah, that's...
So, mirror was from Shalashaska's hut, if I remember correctly, and
Yes,
Hitzian has not been in that area at all.
And the bottle turned out to be nothing either. Shovel at the graveyard. How fitting!
Dampay's Cave, perhaps? So I don't think this is particularly bad for Hitzian because unlike Chloe, they have that bow, so they're more incentivized to go check out Eastern and Pod area. And when they do, they'll get that mirror from the back of Shasharala's hut. But they are actually going to do a very, very early pet check for that book.
I mean, we might as well want to know, right?
I mentioned earlier, but pet seeds are much more likely in Keysanity because there's a good chance a key or small key or big key is on there. But today it's just Cat's Cash. Move along.
Yep. We are safe.
Yeah, no pet, no agger.
The pet seals are done to the required because we have like important keys. That's still a very likely scenario. We could have like the 3 big keys to 3 of our crystal dungeons on pendant bosses. Or an important key that is required for the game.
Chloe's going to be checking out the first 4 chests here, which is basically like an extended overall check if you don't have the big key. Only Hitzian has that big key. Another small key to ice. Not particularly useful.
Actually, isn't that our first?
Oh yeah, that's our first. We picked up the big key for ice, not any small keys. Okay, 1 small key is nice to have.
Money?
No cane for Hitzian, so he's going to have to do this backroom check the hard way, pushing and pulling the statue and trying not to get grabbed by a creepy hand on the way. Yeah, see, he's waiting for it. It's about to go hammer it. Now I can safely pull the statue.
Uh-oh, we just found a Castle Tower small key. That does open up both chests in Aga Tower, but do you really want to go back in Tower and find out what's in them? Oh, could be something important.
If you haven't checked out the back of the front of Escape yet, it's quite reasonable to do that on your way. It's actually really quick to check out those 2 chests, and you know that you're not going to have to kill Aga this seed, so why not?
Small key to that's our 3rd. That's all the keys for Misery Mire. So
everything is pointing towards Misery Mire right now. Just need those Titan Smiths. And probably Ethan Medallion out of spite.
And also the boots or the hookshot because you can't get past the first row.
Oh yeah, very true. Always forget about it.
I almost forgot about it myself until I remembered.
There's our first
dark
path. Okay, there. Yep.
Where's our heart, man? Where's our heart?
Well, it's especially hard when you're making words as the same as the other person. So Chloe with that mirror in hand is going to be doing a bit of a Dark World tour here. Hopefully head over to that pyramid, get that bow, and then they will be in a really great spot.
Gonna check out Spectacle Rock, or not Spectacle Rock, Cave Silent Grove in the meantime. Heart container. A little extra life doesn't hurt.
Oh, leaving at Mayor Portal behind. Okay.
Yeah, kind of turning the shovel check from Graveyard Ledge.
But it does mean that they have to go take another portal if they want to check out Pyramid.
Well, there's just one just south of Link's house, so it's not that much of a walk. Compass dug up.
Yeah, Chloe did already check out Stumpy and Hype Cave, so... Well, they're heading over to Escape now, so this is also great for Chloe. So much value in the middle of a map. Also the top of a map. And the left of a map. And the right of a map. And yeah, the whole map has value.
And this is Chloe's first trip here, so Chloe will be able to full clear the entirety of the Kyle Castle area in one trip.
And Hitzian's retracing Chloe's steps here in Village of Outcasts. He's missing quite a few items compared to Chloe, but he does have that Thieves' Town big key, so he can clear the whole dungeon if he wants.
Well, most of the dungeon. There could be something in that big chest that's going to be quite a thing if it ends up being important.
In before blind drops a big key.
I'll say, blind could also be a panda dungeon for all we know, and there's nothing important inside other than what we found in the initial entryway.
Well, you know what they say about Panda and Thieves Town.
I mean, I tend to go into these down regardless, because it's actually pretty okay dungeon in terms of loot.
So Chloe heading immediately over to Dark Cross here.
Yeah, with the mirror, gonna be an easy time getting back. Alright, Chloe's on the way to the cell. No! Go into
the tower.
Aga!
Oh, nope, changing their mind. I mean, I really wouldn't change her mind at this point,
Oh
because
no!
you've got...
I didn't see what they're doing. That's clever. They went through that door deliberately to set the mirror return there.
Okay.
They're planning to do Aga after checking out the basement.
But it doesn't really, achieve much of anything, really, because you'd go to check your 2 items in Aga, you'd mirror to the front, and then you just go back to the door again.
Yeah, but this saves a little bit of travel. Because you don't have to go back to the lobby again. So it's a minor time save, a very minor one.
Depends what you really want to do after you finish your Agatha and escape clears. If you're just going to save and quit afterwards, then I don't think it saves any time at all doing that. But it doesn't really matter. Just having that mirror is enough of a boon all by itself.
Yeah.
Hitian is going to check out the back of Escape here. Back of Thieves Town here. Couple of items available to him. Also a hint towel up in the attic. Well then, the boots is in Eastern Palace.
That's a juicy one right there.
So that's probably going to send Hitian straight over to Eastern Palace and get those boots, unless they're on Armos Knights, which is going to be terrible if they are. But
Yeah.
at the very least, he's going to think, I should go to this area. Oh, hey, here's a mirror from Sahasrara.
Another thing that would point him towards that is the hint over in Eastern Palace, which we just saw the guaranteed boots hint in Thieves Town. Thieves Town Big Heat, or not the Big Thieves Town, Gannis Tower. Out there somewhere, so could be there, which would give Hitian pretty much all the information in terms of movement. And it does also incentivize Hitian to go over to that region where the mirror is waiting for him at Sahasrara's hut.
Okay, going to check out the second item in here. Agatha is actually pretty nice and quick to clear if you're just checking out the 2 items in Keysanity. No need to bother at visiting the top, you just get your 5 and 20 rupees from the 2 chests and you're out. Never to worry about it ever again. Now, flute in hand but no boots, Clay decides it's the time to check out the Ice Rod Cave. Probably going to be seeing them do the same thing as Hitian, do a fake flip over to the Zora area, pay off the king, get the Quake medallion, see some boots on a book on the ledge and pick up that book.
Walking Ice Rod Cave to Skull Woods. Not really a necessary thing. But here we go. Here comes the blind fight and the blind pun. They really bug me. Puns really bug me too sometimes, even though I like making them.
Chloe not doing flippers check, although they did flute to 4, so maybe they're going to, they're just going to go to Dark World from here. Do have a mirror, so it's very easy for them to check the hobo onto the bridge by going from Dark World And it could do a bunch of other stuff in the Dark World and Light World at the same time.
Small key to
Small
Tar
key
House,
to...
and Thieves' Hunt is a crystal. 100. That's pretty much saying, hey, this is a required dungeon. So I think the boss is still locked behind 6 small keys by logic.
Chloe doing a bit of a gamble here, checking out the first chest in Swamp Palace. Although, never mind, they actually have a Swamp Palace small key. They can check out a whole bunch of Swamp Palace. No hookshot, but you can do pretty much everything in the front and the left side if you so choose. There was a time long, long ago in a previous version of Keysanity where the Swamp Palace small key was much more likely than it should have ever should have had any right to actually be in the vanilla chest in Swamp Palace. So you put off Swamp Palace forever trying to get in, waiting for the small key to get inside and oh nope, it's in the same chest as it always is. But that was fixed long ago, luckily. Although there is a small key in the chest and it's a Desert Palace key.
Desert Palace. That puts Desert in full clear logic. And unfortunately, I missed what the hint said. Big key to Tower Hera.
Nice, well, quite a lot of valuable keys for in the front of Swamp Palace, so this is going to be a forced double dip for Claypower if it is a crystal dungeon, but some good value coming out of this single dip. Double dips and even triple dips are not unusual in Keysanity. You might be finding the keys to unlock another part of a dungeon somewhere else, and then that dungeon has the keys to unlock the second half of the first dungeon you're in, etc, etc. So be prepared to dip in Keysanity. Bring lots of Doritos with your dip. Itian is going to be really happy about picking up this mirror here.
Oh yeah. Like I was saying earlier, the hint that he got for the boots being over in this area, in the dungeon, really incentivized him to come over here, and now he's getting rewarded with the mirror. Meanwhile, Chloe getting just 20 rupees here.
Yeah, 2 more items left for Chloe, which are both on the left side. Take some time to check out, but it's not like a regular kit mode where you might be hoping to get to Argus and hope the map and compass are both on the left side. Nope, those map and compass can be anywhere in the world, so it's 2 items, might as well check them out first 2 here.
Yeah, because those 2 items can literally be anything in the item pool.
Itian checking out some of Eastern Palace here. They've got the bow to finish Eastern Palace, but they don't have the big key, so the bow doesn't really do them much good for now.
There's the other single rupee.
Yeah, normally that chest in the standard game is 300 rupees, so they reduced the value by 300 times there. Ooh, base beast, the base beast dropping a 250-bit donation to the Speed Gaming channel in. Thank you very much.
20 rupees for Hitzion.
Escalating value, I guess, but doesn't really help him at this point. He's already done his most expensive check, the Zora check, and gotten all the other items that he possibly can from rupees. He still has to open up pod, which costs 100 rupees, plus 10. But nothing much else to do with cash right now.
Well, plus 10 times X, depending on how many times you fail.
And with no hookshot, Clay has to go all the way back around and go up into the top floor again and take the other pitfall down. So hoping for some value here, because this is an even lengthier left side check than usual. Beans on toast is indeed a great meal. Thank you, Hintao, in Eastern Palace.
Unfortunately, no sign of the boot just yet. It could be big key locked.
Yeah, and that will sting if it is. Ooh, hard container on the left side. Okay, so left side of the swarm was a bust, but the front portion had useful keys, so I got some mileage out of it.
Yeah, and I believe Chloe does know that the Book of Medora is on the ledge. I'm not entirely sure. Or did they actually go over that way yet?
I don't think they have been over that way yet.
Mm.
I was talking about how they could have done a fake flipper earlier to get over there, and they didn't. Now they have the axle flippers, and might be thinking of doing it with that mirror in tow.
Oh. The boots are big key locked. We need to find them in Easter. The big key for Easter.
That is painful. And we
And
don't know if those boots are necessary yet. There's a big key on the library ledge, and we have no idea what that big key is.
well, we can isolate that it's not the big key to Eastern House because that's an item lock.
True,
right
true.
But it could be the Ganos Tower big key.
So yeah, Hitzian sees that Samaya again on top of Spectacle Rock. They saw it earlier, but they didn't have a mirror this time. He has a mirror and can go grab it and do a bunch of stuff that Chloe did already. And Chloe, meanwhile, is retracing the same steps of Hitzian and checking out the east part of Dark World, probably rooting up to Catfish and Sora. Please go to the pyramid, Chloe. You really need that bow. You see green goo in the bottle?
I think one of our potion bottles is there. Something I would consider picking up, actually. Before on the way to Ganon. It would be a little bit.
Depends how many.
It depends if we have to find half magic as we see 3 bombs, but more so just so I can go play it super safe and just use as much magic as I can during the fight to keep myself invincible.
It also kind of depends on the other items here you can find, like swords, heart containers, and such. Like, both our rounds got red mail extremely early. They have got maximum defensive value. If they fill out those heart containers, they're not going to need much in the way of heart refills. They are possibly only going to need magic refills. And if you're good enough with your lamp glitch on Ganon, you may not be needing a magic refill at all. But that is also going to be dependent on if our runners find silver arrows. Without silver arrows, you're going to have to be doing a lot of sword spins on Ganon, and that makes a magic refill much more lucrative, even necessary.
Yeah, and even if you find the silver arrows, let's say you just have Master Sword, having just that magic refill, just so you can use the cape in Phase 2 as much as you want, and having that magic as a fallback to use it on the torches, still nice to have. So it is something I would consider picking up if I need it. We'll see if Hitzian even bothers later on. But if we have half magic, it's probably a safe bet that it's not being picked up, because half magic on its own is way too good at its job.
Even if you find it in the chest before Aga 2 and Ganon's Tap, it still gives you value on Ganon, so half magic is always good to find. Never necessary, always useful.
There's the Bikini Desert for Hitzian. Now, armed with that, would go the desert.
Yeah, he still lacks a small key for Chloe, meanwhile, is very shortly going to get their Craig medallion and their book, and is very, very likely to be headed straight over there and clear out everything.
There's that mushroom, which will lead to another sword for Hitzian, along with all the other goodies that are in here.
Chloe has the small key for desert and can do whatever they please in there. Whilst Hitzian, if they wanted, they could check out the front. They could also check out the back and clear Lamolus if they wanted to steal a key. But that would mean putting off the rest of the items until much later. Looks like he's going to check out Magic Bat though. Draining his magic so he can also do a fake powder like Clay did earlier.
Yeah, pretty good idea. Do this before you turn in the mushroom.
Smoky on the ledge.
Could be important. Tizian, meanwhile, getting their flute activated.
Yeah, much later than Clay did. Clay's routing, thanks to getting that flute and mirror so early, has really benefited him a lot, and so made things pretty efficient for them. Whereas Hitzian has kind of had to go around in circles a little bit to get their stuff.
Alright. The small key locks bombs. And what else? The Titan's Mitts!
Oh, okay. Small key for desert, 100% necessary. If you steal the key to kill Lamolus, you are going to be in trouble.
Well, the small key to desert is not in a bit. It's actually available to.
It's also really good for Clay right now because once they're done with desert, just flute back to desert again and lift up that rock and go check out what Maya needs.
Well, we know not to touch the green pendant. Bombs are the prize for Sahasrara.
No moth swatting today. Right, Hitzian also handing in their mushroom, gonna get their Master Sword now.
And with the exception of the mail upgrade and the sword upgrade on Chloe's end, this is gonna be, for the most part, a vanilla Moldorm fight, which is a rare occurrence. Don't see this too often. Ice Rod could two-shot each one.
Smoky's Tower of Hera, so that gets you into the basement. So all for Tower of Hera is open to Clay now, as well as Desert, but they are going to be checking out a little of the Maya area first.
Makes sense.
Clay doesn't. I'm not sure if Clay has the information that Desert Palace is a crystal yet, because I'd have just gone and finished it off straight there whilst being on top of the ledge. There's the big key to Ganon's Tower in the Maya shed, and an Ether medallion. Chat is saying that Ether was required to open Maya, and it's right outside. Okay.
What's at the door?
Gonna have to double check that, but that is some freakish medallion location. Ah, of course, Clay was just going to use the mirror to take a shortcut to the back of desert and finish it off this way. Okay, very smart.
Yeah, Chloe for the most part isn't optimizing their movement on the overworld.
It's here and checking out desert without that small key. So they're going to be missing out on Titan's Mitts for a bit. If they go kill Lamolus by stealing a key, then they're going to be missing out on it for a bit longer.
Small key on the ledge is the small key to Tower Hera. I believe we've already seen that. So Tower Hera is now full clearable. We don't know what it is, but it's full clearable.
So he's going for the key. Gonna see what he does with it. Take it to Lamolus or take it to the front? Take it to Lamolus, okay.
Yeah, this seems to be the more ideal of the two plays.
But it does mean that they could be putting off those Titan Smiths for quite a long time still, even when they find that Desert Small Key.
Indeed.
Not really having many good weapons to take out Land Murderers with Clay opts for to use a few arrows and some Master Sword spins. The Ice Sword does good damage, but it's tricky to land. So first crystal for Clay, and Hitzian is also heading into fight. He's using the Ice Rod, so misses quite a few of his shots. But he does take out the first Land Murderers really quickly.
Yeah. Part of me wants to say that the Ice Rod is the intended way to kill this thing. Simply because it's so much damage, and Tahatsula himself kind of directs you towards the Ice Rod. Our third bottle. That we know of, anyway.
Bottle of Vertigo worth the time to grab.
Yeah, because now Chloe can afford to be a little reckless on the Ganon fight if needed. With a blue.
Second crystal for Hitzian. Clay does have the big key for Feast Town, so they can go clear that out when they want. Looks like Hitzian is going to be checking out a bit of Palace of Darkness now. 2 small keys and a big key means quite a lot is available to him, but he's not going to be able to finish the dungeon. And he's got to be pretty careful of his routing. He doesn't want to open up the door in the middle just by the entrance, because that is very wasteful. He's going to want to take the long way around using the bow each time.
Yeah, which not exactly ideal, but at the same time, you do what you can to save keys so you can minimize how many you need to find. It's a perfectly sensible play in Keysanity Rando.
Clay, with keys in hand, is now going to be blitzing through a couple dungeons here, starting off with Tower of Hair, and then probably going over to Thieves Town afterwards. Oh, now you can also check out Ether Tablet, which Hitzian already had a look at, and we know. Yep.
Yeah, so just gonna pick that up right away. It doesn't even know what it is. But hey, extra potions are always nice. Especially if they're free.
Yeah, if glass objects were falling on my head from the skies, I'd be pretty annoyed. Or maybe concussed.
Alright, down to the basement. I don't have any coffee prepared this hour for the coffee break, but I do have a bottle of iced tea near me. A unique item in the sewers for the hint at Palace of Darkness. What was that?
You know what? I cannot remember what was in the back now.
Neither can I.
Keysanity is the mode in which you need to take a lot of notes, and considering the speed at which our runners can get items, I am not perfect at note taking.
Chat will probably back us up.
Alright, it was that super early hammer. Thank you, Sonic Am. Okay, was the small keeper tab here worth it? No, big bit of cash.
But hey, Chloe did not know. Makes perfect sense to me to go check it while you're in the area.
Hitzian is going to make use of their keys to go straight to Helmasaur here and put off the other items in Paths of Darkness for later. He knows it's a crystal. He knows it's a 5/6 crystal even, so he does get some mileage out of this, but it does mean more items he's putting off until later. Of course, we don't know where the other Palace of Darkness small keys are, so could be a long time before we even think about clearing out the whole of Palace of Darkness. So this could be good for him. It could be incredibly efficient for him, or it could be that he misses something and incredibly inefficient for him. We don't know yet, because Rando is rando. Items in random locations, we don't know what they are until we see them.
Yeah, and if we knew what's one of the race, really. Magic Cave. Good pickup there for Chloe. Nice safety. Although, with Red Mill, kind of a moot point, but if we can't find another, it would be very nice to face 2 Ganon.
Clay was checking out Graveyard Ledge earlier, but I didn't see if they also checked out the Bumper Ledge.
I don't know.
I don't recall seeing it. We've got double boss fights here, Moldorm and Helmasaur. Moldorm can be a very quick fight or a very annoying fight if he happens to knock you off a cliff, but Clay Power uses a couple of Master Sword spins to take it out and avoid getting pushed off.
And it is a crystal.
Third crystal for Hitzian, so he's picking up crystals, but he's not quite picking up the same items that Chloe is.
So we have, I believe... No, we have 2 more crystals unaccounted for.
2 crystals unaccounted for, 2 pendants unaccounted for.
So we really need to figure out which one of these last 2 dungeons is it. Quake? Well, vanilla medallion requirements, okay.
Either for
Okay,
Fire
yeah.
and Quake for Turtle Rock. That is pretty vanilla. And Bombers we can forget about unless Firewall is buried in Ice Palace.
Might even still be required because of that same thing.
But yes, if Firewall is buried in Ice Palace, you won't be able to get in without Bombers.
And Chloe not even reading the hint here in Turtle Rock, just gonna go straight in. Not much Chloe can do. Does have 2 small keys, no big key. So this first floor is pretty much all that they can do.
A big key. Oh, big key to Eastern. That's
That
big.
is huge find, and Chloe doesn't even know it. For those of you who might just be tuning in here, that big key to Eastern Palace is locking the boots. And Hitzian knows that the boots are in Eastern Palace because he has done Thieves Town. Chloe does not have that information.
And furthermore, on the Library Ledge in Kakariko, locked by the boots is a big key. We don't know what the big key is for yet. We do have a Ganon's Tower big key, but we are missing some big keys that might be necessary. Such as 4. Mizumaya.
And there's the useless map. Chloe leaving to check other locations.
Oh wait, never mind. We do have a big key for Mizumaya. Okay, so in terms of big keys, we're not actually
It
missing
could
that
be
much.
Turtle
We
Rock.
don't need. Yeah, it could be the
It's
Turtle
either
Rock
Turtle
big
Rocks.
key, and that would be horrible because it means force double dip Turtle Rock.
Wait, did Chloe find the Ganon's Tower big key? Tempered Sword, though.
Ooh, nice temper sword. Yeah, the Ganon's Tower big key was in the Maya shed.
Nice. Okay. So it's very likely at this point, based on the big keys we have, that the boots, the big key that's on library is not required. Because either Swamp, which you don't need the big key to clear the dungeon, Skull Woods, which it's a pendant anyway, and we know it's nothing, and is not required for that either, or it's Turtle Rock's big key and it's a forced double dip. Which, Brandon, it's Keysanity. Expect a lot of double dips.
1 in 3 chance. So Clay's going to be making immediate use of that cave to check out Spike Cave here.
Meanwhile,
And-
Hitzian did find another small key to Turtle Rock. Up to 3 now. Oh, and missed a fire rod in the dark basement. Oh, pod here. So bombos is unfortunately not required. Much I like the thing, it's way too laggy. Small key and says Dark Palace. All right, there's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we still don't know what all of our dungeons are yet. Like, we can clear out Eastern Palace now, but we don't know if it's a pendant or crystal. We don't even know if the boots are necessary at this point. We don't know what swamp.
I would argue the boots are necessary 100% of the time, but that's
yeah, but you can still save yourself a bunch of time by actually just ignoring those boots in Eastern Palace entirely. But we don't know what Mizumaya are, we don't know what Tarok are, and we don't know what Swamp Palace are. We have got 2 pendants and 2 crystals unaccounted for, and those are kind of locked behind really like lengthy dungeons or annoying items that one or the other runner is lacking.
Well, Chloe's going to stumble on the boots regardless, because I'm pretty sure Chloe, with the big key in Eastern in hand, is going to be doing a full pod Eastern. Or as much as one as they can do.
Seems likely. Now, where was that boots hint again?
The boots hint was in Thieves Town.
Right, and Chloe here hasn't been to the back of Thieves Town yet.
Nope.
Because they didn't have the big key at the time, so they don't know the boots are here.
They also don't know that Thieves Town is a crystal. We only got that information because Hitzion actually defeated Blind.
Right, yes.
And Hitzion's about to climb up the tower. Now, there is a hint all the way up here in the tower, but you need both small keys to reach it. And really, if you're climbing up the tower, you're fighting Gaia. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, that hint tile is basically at the top right before Aga 1, so it takes you a lot of time to get there. It's only if you're like really, really stuck and don't have anything else you can think of doing. And even then, you're probably just saying, I bet you expected help, didn't you?
Oh, I've already seen a couple of different joke hints. It could be our guaranteed Ganstar Big Key hint. We haven't seen that yet.
That's just in Maya Shed. That's easy to get, though. You don't need a hint for that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hitzian is going to be still pitting off the Maya area for quite some time because they don't have those mids yet, though.
I only just now noticed that Hitzion also found the mirror shield.
Yeah, he's been walking around for that field for a while now. Wasn't Pod. But now he has that mirror, he's going to be doing some of the same mirror checks that Chloe did earlier. So the main difference between the 2 runners here is routing. Hitzian, well, Chloe did some things that Hitzian didn't, and that's with Chloe checked out Sahasrara, got that mirror super early. That mirror allowed them to go up to the top of Death Mountain, grab the flute, and
there's the boots.
There's the boots in the big chest. Okay. So thanks to having that mirror and flute so early, Chloe's routing has been much quicker, much more efficient than Hitzian, and that's allowed them to do. They're behind on crystals, but they have got so many more items and keys that they are in a significant advantage here. Hitzian checking out bombers now. I don't think Chloe did this.
No, I don't think anyone's checked bombos, actually. We do need to find that hookshot, though. Could be here.
Small T key to GT.
And just to be hard at bombos. Where... that is actually a really good question. Where do you think the hookshot could be? We've already seen all of the energy chests and swamps save for the big chest, so... it's either a truly vanilla hookshot or it's not there. Chloe was already in that dungeon.
If Swamp Palace had nothing in the back and was a pendant, and Mizumaya was also pendant and had nothing in there. And you were skilled at hovering. You could skip hookshot. You could. But the logic will never expect you to know hovering.
Yeah. Hovering is just a lot of frame perfect inputs in a row. And yet it's still considered a minor glitch despite how much execution you need to pull it off. I mean, if you can do it, props to you. I'm not going to bother trying. Anyway, here come the Armos Knights.
Some new information here. It's going to be a pendant or a crystal. At the very least, information is great to have in Keysanity.
Good quick kill. Car container. It's a crystal. Alright, we're down to either Swamp, Mizumaya, or Turtle Rock as the final crystal dungeon. And depending on what that last crystal dungeon is, we are potentially in no mode. We know where the fire rod is, and if it happens to be Turtle Rock that is required for as the last crystal, we may not need the hookshot at all. Until we get to Gannon Tower anyway. Yeah, if you can hover, yeah. But I'd say at this point, after Pod, I think the play is Misery Mire. We've got those keys really early on. Something has to be there. And now with the boots, Chloe can now enter in full clear.
Yeah, I'd really go grab that big key from the library ledger just to know what it's for. If it's for Swamp Palace, then yeah, forget about it probably.
Yeah, we still are looking for the big key for Turtle Rock. We're also looking for at least one small key for Chloe, but it's in this dungeon. Fire Rod's also in this dungeon in the dark basement for Chloe.
Hitzian has a super important desert small key from the first chest in Swamp Palace, which they really, really need it. The rest of you're going to be checking out the left side too. This is useless for them, but that desert small palace is what really Hitzian needs right now. That gets them back into desert. It lets them get their Titan Smiths from the right side.
Indeed.
So whilst we're seeing our runners retrace our steps here, I am going to throw the links into chat. Please do give them a follow. These two do a lot of Link to the Past Vanda. They are fantastic runners. They do all kinds of dailies and tournaments and such. They're real good runners to watch. So hey, do check out their channels.
Indeed. And while we're at it, a quick shout out to White Wolvos, who is our tracker behind the scenes, keeping those items up to date for you as well.
Ooh, hard hat beetle sending Chloe down into the pit there. Wisely decides to reset the room. And again, Hitzian doesn't have the hookshot. We have no idea where the hookshot is, so they're going to have to be taking the very long way of checking out the two items in the left side of Swamp here. Got to climb up to the attic, fall down the left pit, jump off, climb up again, fall down the right pit.
Yeah, I see a whole bunch of people call this from different. The rupee basement makes the most sense to me because it's filled with rupees. There's the mirror shield and the fire rod as well for Chloe.
Yeah, there's a double combo in the dark basement. You get some fire and you get some swaggy lag.
Pretty much. Alright, Hitsion's gonna get the bad news here. Ooh, Chloe was not in position for the hammer jump. It is a double pixel perfect.
And the hammer jump is such an integral trick to skipping keys in Palace of Darkness. As if you ever plan on running Keysanity, please do look up the hammer jump and how to do it. It is by far the most useful trick in Keysanity.
Like, I've learned some visual tells to set up, and I can only get it still roughly maybe 25% of the time, if that.
Yeah, I am personally terrible at bomb jumps myself, so the hammer jump is something I've never been able to pull off. But like I said, it's pixel perfect. You've got to get your jump at the right angle so that you land on the barrier there and are able to clip through it.
Yeah. But it's not just placing the ball in the right pixel. You also have to be standing up. I think it's exactly 8 pixels above it.
Now, Chloe isn't using any. What I see most runners doing here is using the menu to give themselves pause buffers to put themselves in the right place, and Chloe isn't doing that.
Yeah, Chloe actually just took a death there.
And Hitzian has headed straight to Desert Palace and gotten their mitts. This is great for Hitzian.
Yeah.
So now he can flute back to the desert spot, get into the Maya area, and check out that Maya shed and get that Ganstar big key. But no, he's going Death Mountain first.
Now, I did learn a tell that works for me, but I know at least I'm on the bomb placing pixel. When you're at least with the temperature sword, when your sword is between the two different tile patterns, turns like there's 2 parallel lines in it. If it's in there seamlessly, you're on the right pixel if you're in the right position, and then you just gotta move 8 pixels up from that, which is the harder part at that point.
Oh, a map check here. Mizumaya is a pendant.
All right, so
I didn't see what the other ones were for. That was a very quick check. I'm going to have to recheck the font for that. But if Turtle Rock is a crystal, then that big key on the library ledge could be big. It could be. 1 in 3 chance.
yeah. What I'm predicting at this point is our hookshot's in Misery Mire, and Swamp is actually the dungeon we need to clear for our 7th crystal.
Wolfman 2000 in chat also pointing out that Turtle Rock was a pendant. So, that big key on the library ledge suddenly loses a whole bunch of value.
Yeah, because now we know that it's Swamp Palace. We need to find the hookshot. Process of elimination.
Right. So, well, you never know. Hookshot could be on Trinex. Trinex loves to hoard items.
That is true. But in terms of dungeons that need to be cleared, we need that hookshot. But our hookshot can be pretty much anywhere except GT at this point. Also, I just got caught the second hit in Tower Hera. That was a very redundant hit. Telling him what was in the basement. And their brother runners most likely check the basement.
Yeah, like in a regular Rando seed, you'd probably be checking out the mold dome before you go into the basement, unless you're unlucky with your big key. And having that intel before you go into the basement is fantastic, but getting it out of the basement is salt in the wound.
Yeah. One of those
Ooh,
moments of
yeah.
would have been nice to know after the fact.
Lucian getting bounced around here nearly took a fall, but manages to recover and take out Moldom. So another crystal for both 5 runners.
Indeed. So yeah, now we know that it's Eastern Desert, Hera, Pod, Swamp, and Ice. Yeah, and Thieves Town as well. So yeah, process of elimination. Swamp is the last crystal. Because we know where our 3 pendants are. Green Pendant Swamp. Or Green Pendant Skull Woods, rather. Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. And given how many keys we got really early on for Misery Mire, I'm more than likely expecting Misery Mire to have our hookshot.
Clay is going for that big key, nonetheless.
Meanwhile, Hitsion's going to ice. Bo's in plain sight. What do we have land? And it's the big key to Skull Woods, so one of the keys we do not need. Ouch.
Well, it depends where that hookshot is, really. And this being Keysanity, that hookshot could be just about anywhere. It could be on Trinex, it could be in the big chest of Skull Woods, it could be in Misery Mire. And Clay's is going with the Misery Mire option.
Yeah. I think it's the same reason I mentioned as well. We got all the small keys and the big keys relatively early on. This seed probably wanted us to go to Swamp Misery Mire as soon as we found the tiniest minutes.
Also, pointing out, that bird is in a really good position right now.
But
no bad toss.
Alright, here we go. Misery Mire.
Crystal versus Pendant Dungeon. Nice use of sword beams by Chloe there to quickly.
Oh, but that's a hint that Hitsion needed. That was the Ganon Tower big key hint.
Yep. Now, Ice Palace is a dungeon that's pretty slow to full clear and pretty fast to go mode it, especially if you're playing Keysanity and have all the keys already. So if the hookshot isn't down here for Hitsion, he's going to be spending a bunch of unnecessary time. If hookshot isn't in Maya for Chloe, this is also a big amount of unnecessary time because Miss Maya is also a slow dungeon to full clear. Especially if you're going to check out the left side.
My only counter for the Misery Mire versus Ice Palace play at this point is we got the keys for Misery Mire really fast. Information for Hyrule Castle, not that we need it. And I think Chloe's leaning on the fact that we got the key so early that the seed is telling us there's something in Misery Mire that you need. Which is not the wrong way to think, really.
Sometimes the logic of the seed can be, say, like pointing in a direction, but again, I must stress, random is random. There's a logic behind randomness, but it is completely random. Just because you got all this stuff to get through Maya early doesn't mean there's actually anything in Maya. It could be a giant piece of bait here for Chloe. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, indeed.
Just gonna have to see what turns up.
That's what's in Paradise Cave? Okay, good hint, I guess. Small key to Gan's Tower. Actually useful.
Yeah, Chloe was still only on one small key for Gan's Tower, so comes in use for them. But you only really need, if you're going into Gan's Tower and you've got your big key, you only need one small key to get to the top. So unless you're like desperately hunting down, like, well, there's can't be any items for go mode in Gan's Tower, like silver arrows or. So, yeah, you only really need one small key for Gan's Tower, unless you're used to finding the big key in Gan's Tower itself. It sometimes happens. It's very, very grueling when it does happen, but it can. But not in today's seed.
After Turtle Rock in the meantime for Hitsion. Slowly rushing across the bridge. Money. And the other map, the Thieves Town. Another key to Ganon's Tower, meanwhile Hitsion. Where is our hookshot? Last just before Vitreous. It's the gold sword.
Well, that's really nice for cutting through Vitreous if you want to finish off a dungeon. And it looks like Chloe does want to do that. Okay. So this could be a giant waste of time for Chloe. And it is a pendant dungeon too. At least if Hitsion's wasting time in Ice Palace, it's a crystal. It gets him more progress towards the end of the seed. Cane of Burner in the big chest of ice.
Not exactly required considering we have Cape, but good option to have. Did Hitsion actually read the third hint in Ice Palace? I did not notice.
I missed it myself.
Maybe chat will catch us up to that. All right, here we go. Cold stare fight. Bring through all the magic. It's a Master Sword Cold Stare fight. As the funnest one. Going with Hammer though for some extra damage.
It takes a couple of hits from the Cold Stare Flurries here. Dips into the blue potion to top up. Good to play. And then he can just blitz through the rest of the flies with a Fire Rod.
The item on Cold Stare is the Bombos Medallion.
That's ironic. I was talking about Fire Rod could be in Ice Palace earlier. Nope, it's the other source of fire.
So Fire was hard required to fight a Cold Stare. Nice.
Alright, time to see if this Pendant Dungeon is a complete bust for Chloe. Nice efficient use of the cape there to quickly take out all of those eyeballs.
Did this get tagged by the lightning? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 arrows. Vitreous falls. And
Bust.
just some more ammunition. Return on your investment. The hookshot is elsewhere, and someone points out, Hookshot Cave's first chest. That would be a really bad spot for it to be. Let's hope it's there. Or something, I don't know.
I think if you were to get that chest, to be on your way to Turtle Rock to clear out the rest of it.
You know what also could it be? We have the big key to Thieves Town. We don't have the small key to Thieves Town. Our hookshot could be in the big chest.
Well, Chloe's going to be going to Thieves Town now and finishing out Crystal off. Which is what they should be doing, clearing out Crystal Dungeons and looking for their items in Crystal Dungeons. But we know it's not in Ice Palace or Thieves Town.
And we don't know what's on Swamp either, so...
Maybe that Pendant Mothler could be coming into play after all.
Pendant Moth? Well, we don't need to fight the Moth unless the Moth itself has the hookshot.
It's also Green Pendant, remember? So Mothler could have the item, it could be on the Green Pendant. Oh wait, no, we got a hint for that much earlier, didn't we? It was
yes, we
Castle
did. That's what I was
right?
alluding to.
Yeah.
Could also be in Turtle Rock. We have 3 keys available to us. So while we don't have the big key, we can go fairly deep into Turtle Rock. All the way to not Laser Bridge, Mimic Cave.
Unfortunately, Clay already dipped into a tiny part of Turtle Rock to get that big key for Eastern Palace, actually.
And we actually don't have a hint for Mimic Cave, so... Oh, Hitzion! There was a reason he was going to Ice Palace. Carrying the big bomb. We don't have a hint for this either. This could be the play that turns this around for Hitzion.
And Clay is straight up skipping hints at this point.
Well, in the case of that hint, it was information Chloe already knew, so it's fine. But could feel
is that
behind
true? Because I don't think Clay went into the back of Thieves Town at all. Because their first dip into Thieves Town, they only checked out the first 4 chests, not having the big key.
Well, first off, that hint was the one that told us where the boots were. So even if Chloe did check it, it doesn't really matter. Second off, Chloe just did the entirety of Pendant Mire, which ended up being a bust. Could feel behind, doesn't want to waste time with hints.
Yeah.
Which is probably the more likely of the two.
Pyramid Fairy was also a bust too. No hookshot there.
So it's gotta be Death Mountain or... It's gotta be either Death Mountain or the Big Chest of Skull Woods. I can't think of any other location. Wait, no, I'm forgetting one location. I don't think we checked the Smith's area.
Nope, no Hammer Pegs, no Smith's area.
We haven't seen the Blacksmiths, we haven't seen the Hammer Pegs. And we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen Graveyard Ledge. Or not Graveyard Ledge, Bumper Cave. And we haven't seen King's Tomb. And the Bonk Rock. So there is a few amount of checks that we have left. Unless I missed them. Which is...
Hitzian is rapidly catching up to Clay here, simply because of the fact he's gone cleared out more dungeons and went to crystal dungeons before pendants. It really depends on what pendant dungeons he decides to waste time in looking for the hookshot. If he goes to Maya, we know that's a giant bust. If he goes to Turtle Rock, he could be grabbing the hookshot there, but he will definitely grab his Eastern Palace big key there and can then go to Eastern.
Yeah. And that's the real important thing here is Hitzion needs to go to if the big key is in or the hookshot's in Skull Woods in the big chest, Hitzion needs to go to Turtle Rock.
Chloe just got their next Palace of Darkness key, so they weren't able to check out the dark side of Palace of Darkness because they couldn't do the hammer jump. So with that small key, perhaps they'll be thinking of going back there. Hitzian didn't really grab much there. Where was our third turtle? Oh, Boomerang Smiths. Okay, and we know the purple chest is useless, so Hitzian's not going to go for that. I do believe he has a hint.
All right,
Yeah,
boot
he's
check's
just leaving
coming
it
up.
behind.
Bonk rocks. That's just bombs.
Bombs. Where's that third Turtle Rock key for that Hitzian has, but Chloe doesn't?
That's a good question.
Smokey to oh, that's Thief's Town Smokey.
Ooh,
Spicy.
that's a big one.
Extra spicy salsa for your double dip. Oh, nice saving of that mirror portal. Yep, Claire's going straight back into Thief's Town to check out that big key chest. Or not? No. Proving me a liar. Okay. Going to also do blacksmiths. But they are still really close to Thieves Town, so good chance Clay will dip back into Thieves Town, check out that big chest, also dip back into Skullwoods, take out the moth, see what he drops. So it really comes down to if that hookshot is in Turtle Rock or not. If it's in Turtle Rock, this benefits Hitzian a lot, at least when he decides to go there. If it's not in Turtle Rock, then Chloe definitely has the advantage here, having gotten those keys from Turtle Rock and cleared out Eastern.
Yeah, so we're hoping that whatever Chloe finds is going to be...
Oh, Hitzian is heading up to Turtle Rock now, so they're going to get their Eastern Palace big key. That will also get them their boots and their Skull Woods big key from the library ledge. And they do have an additional small key, so probably going to be seeing a full Turtle Rock clear from Hitzian.
Indeed.
Tons of items in Turtle Rock. It's a pendant first.
Well, hang on. Actually, not that much, really, if you think about it, because you don't have the big key, which is the thing holding up the back.
Oh yeah, true. You can't actually go kill. You can't actually beat Chinex without the big key. Okay.
Yeah, but can definitely go all the way to Mimic Cave.
Yeah, and he can also clear out the right side, which Clay skipped because no fire rod. Clay opening up the purple chest. Did they miss a hint about that? I'm sure they found it.
I think Chloe's running out of ideas. Might be panicking a bit.
Chloe is checking out more overworld stuff and not going back into those pendant dungeons. I guess they have checked out King's Tomb and Bonkrok, so just making sure they full clear everything before going into the pendants, which is a fine play. We know it's not the correct play, but it's it's not the right play in this scenario, but it's a good play nonetheless. Now they're going. Oh, of course, I forgot. They haven't done Ice Palace yet, so yeah. Still got to clear out Ice Palace, get all the items in there. It's a distinct lack of hookshot, but it's a crystal.
Is this our first look at Dark Death Mountain?
No, Clay was up here much earlier. They went into Turtle Rock, remember? No boots, so they couldn't check out Hookshot Cave. They got a
Okay, so
temper.
we saw. Yeah, there's the tempered sword. So I don't know if Chloe didn't check the first chest of. Oh, Chloe didn't check the first chest of Hookshot Cave, and neither can Hitsuyan.
Ah, that is Boots locked. And Boots is in Eastern. And key for Eastern is in Turtle Rock here.
Yeah. So Hitsuyan's hoping that Hookshot's not there because that's going to be a little bit of time. And there's a joke in there. It's Turtle Rock.
Yeah, luckily for Clay, the hints have been skipping were useless or redundant hints.
Yeah. Still, this third hint here in Ice Palace, I don't know what it is. Could be important information.
Hityan gets a big key to Eastern, and now we have got brand new information coming up on Hityan's side. What is in the rest of Turtle Rock? Is our hookshot here?
Is
Could
Hitsuyan
even
gonna
our
go
big...
the Hitsuyan went the wrong way. Class, a very common mistake because you expect to do the hook shot stuff, but unfortunately, if you do it like this, you don't exactly have the hook shot, so you have to go all the way around, and by that time, the charges have gone out.
Luckily, he remembers he went the wrong way before he got past that little loop there, so he can just go backwards and save a little bit of time.
Indeed.
The muscle memory really catches out people there if you don't have hookshot.
I've had it happen before. Hookshot could be on Mafula. Cannot be on the green pen that Mafula's holding.
Oh, Clay taking a lot of falls here in Ice Palace. Trying to get the bomb jump and not really succeeding. They struggled a lot with the hammer jump earlier. Okay, they get across this time, but they've lost a lot of life in the process. I believe Clay still has that red potion from earlier, so they can dip into that. And yeah, that's exactly what they are doing. Oh, Hityan is noping out of Turtle Rock and is going to go on and get those boots.
It makes some sense as well. No reason to dive deeper into the dungeon when you don't know if the hookshot's there. And the boots unlock so much more checks, and more importantly, the big key, which for all Hitsuyan knows could be the big key to Turtle Rock. We know it's not.
I'm thinking it's pretty likely that big key to Turtle Rock is in Turtle Rock itself.
Or in Ganon's Tower, because it is a pendant.
Yeah, it can pop up there if, like, the hookshot isn't down there. But if the hookshot isn't down in Turtle Rock, where's it? I'm betting on Moth at this point.
I'm gonna say the first chest of. I'm gonna say the first chest of Hookshot Cave. Just let it come full circle that you had to climb the mountain twice. And they expect you to climb it 3 times because now you have to go down the mountain with your hookshot to beat slumped, so you can go up the mountain to go to Ganon's Tower. And Chloe's routing, I think, skipped the 3rd hint. I completely missed it.
Yeah, Chloe really doesn't care about hints at this point.
That is unfortunate. For all we know, that could have been the one hint that told us where the hookshot.
It is unlikely to get a hint specifically for the hookshot. It's not one of those items that tends to get a dedicated hint, like the Ganon's Tower Big Key and Keysanity or the Boots hint. More likely than not, you're not going to see a hint for hookshot at all. It's just going to be something you find incidentally, and you'll never find out any information about hookshot until you actually pick it up. So, considering that hookshot is the only item that Chloe needs, it does make sense here with skipping the hint tiles. It's a very small chance to actually get the necessary information from him.
Alright. Unfortunately, Hitsuyan messing up the quick kill.
Chloe going for another bomb jump here. Does get this one.
Yeah, this one's a little bit easier.
Yeah, they have been
Not by
struggling
much.
with their bomb jumps in this seed, unfortunately. So they weren't able to pull off the hammer jump in Palace of Darkness. So some chests in Palace of Darkness still unknown for Chloe. They may be dipping back in there.
So I think Hitsu's gonna go get the big key. Hope it's for... Oh no. Hitsuan,
Well, he
don't do
does need to
this.
go here to get his Ganon's Tower big key, but the rest of Maya is complete junk. So
He might go into Misery Mire. Up, there it is. So what little advantage Hitsuan had over Chloe and not doing Misery Mire is soon to be gone.
I do know that Hitzian does have an additional small key for Turtle Rock that Chloe lacks. And I cannot remember where that first small key was.
I want to say that was... Has Chloe been into Skullwoods yet?
They dipped a little bit of it, I want to say, but I cannot remember at this point.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, they checked out the first part of Skullwoods because they had the cane much earlier than Hitzian, so they were able to skip into that switch locked door much easier with the cane, whereas Hitzian had to pull the statue. Now Chloe is going to go back into Skullwoods. Okay, I am betting on a morph, so I like this.
It's probably just gonna be the Skullwoods big chest. But I'm gonna hold out for the Hookshot Cave. And just to add a little extra salt on the wound with it being there, Silver's next chest over, but they leave and don't get them.
Okay, heading straight to the morph, not checking out the big chest first. Okay.
That makes a little bit of sense. Clear them off.
They also haven't checked out pedestal yet, so they're probably thinking to root that in as well before, just to get the information though that the pedestal is junk. Couch cash into day seed, like nearly always. And from here, Chloe is also really close to Thieves Town, so they could also check out the big chest in there, if they so choose. We're really running out of locations here.
We really are. It has to be somewhere. Alright, moth fight.
Yeah, pretty easy with a gold sword. Would be impossible in vanilla Link to the Past if he had the gold sword, but luckily he's programmed in Rando to take the same damage as he would if he had a tempered sword, if
Yeah.
you've got the gold sword. The thing is, Mothula is immune to the spikes. Oh, 20 rupees for Mothula. So Mothula is immune to the spikes in his room, and the spikes do the same damage as a gold sword. So if you swat him with a gold sword in the normal game, he takes no damage.
Yeah, got him in a little oversight there. Yeah, if the spikes weren't there though, he'd die in like 4 hits.
Yeah. If you're doing it the way the game intended, you'd only have the Master Sword for Moth. Hey, Clay, where you going? Yeah, back down, go check out that chest. Yeah, thank you. Almost went straight back to Moth, for nostalgia's sake.
Actually, no, wait, it would be 2 hits with the damage thing did not exist because of Gold Sword. And we wouldn't have to make the correction.
Hitzian is done with Maya. They're leaving. Gonna
And
go grab
Chloe's
that.
done with Skullwoods.
Ooh. Yeah, big chest, Chloe.
Chloe, I think, is heading back to Turtle Rock. Or maybe checking out Bumper Cave.
Wrong
It's
place to
the
check
ongoing.
Bumper Cave from. They already went into Spike Cave. I forget what Spike
Chloe's
Cave
going
had.
this way because no, Chloe's going the right way. This is the only way to get to the east side.
Yeah, because no hookshot. I think if Chloe wants to do a full clear of Turtle Rock, they are missing a key. At least that's what it says on their tracker. Might have to double check the menu just to confirm that.
Now they have they have only 2 keys. Trying to remember where the third one is. Indeed.
It's got to be something that Hitzian did, but Chloe hasn't.
Oh, Hitzian would successfully hammer yumped.
Oh, right. Okay. Pod
Over
darkness.
there.
Right. Oh, that stings for Chloe. But hey, they're checking out your gamble, which is the first chest of Hookshot Cave. No, berries are immune to boomerangs, unfortunately. You can't stun them. Hookshot will one-shot them.
And the small key to
to
Dark Palace! That does give Chloe 5 small keys, though. Which I think puts the Dark Maze in logic.
Yep, no need to hammer yump now. This is great for them because hammer yump is a expressly nasty trick to pull off if you're not used to it.
Gotta check.
Hitzian is checking out the big chest. Hitzian is checking out the big chest. Chloe forgot about this.
There's a big key to swap.
Oh,
the rabbit hole deepens. Now it could be a true vanilla.
Okay, if it's vanilla, I'm going to throw something out the window. I have been in a lot of races I've done. I've always say I'm hoping for vanilla hookshot, but vanilla hookshot in this seed, no, I'm not permitting that.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a thing. All right, Chloe's gonna check the big key chest here. This is the last chest. Huh? No, Chloe's going straight to Mimic Cave.
Yeah, depending on your keys in Turtle Rock, you may decide to orphan the lava chest there and just go finish off the rest of the dungeon. It's basically one chest versus all chests on Laser Bridge. Lacking that key that Hitzian has, they are going for Laser Bridge over lava chest. It's a gamble. It's Laser Bridge is obviously more lucrative, especially having tools to get past Laser Bridge and logic like Mirror Shield, Cape, and Burner.
Yeah. Of course, our hookshot could be in there, and it's a moot point.
Yeah. It could be anywhere, except GT. And, of course, Argus.
And it's not here in Mimic Cave either.
Some caches in Mimic Cave. Where have I heard that one before?
Not in this scene, but at least not according to my notes.
And Clay is only wanted to check out Mimic Cave. They're leaving. They're going back to pod.
Off slope in the seed. Oh, I don't like the fact there's so many one-offs. I really don't.
Yeah, Hitzian taking on the Moth now. I think they dipped into the red potion earlier and didn't have it for this point, but they just get the Moth down with 1 heart left. Pick up their 20 rupees and are feeling a little bit sore now. But at least they got that Swamp Palace big key. I think Claire's getting a bit too hasty with they're missing one item. They want to go find that item and they're trying to go through logical steps, but they making risky plays like not going through as much of Turtle Rock as possible whilst it was in access to them. Or skipping the big chest of Skullwoods.
Chloe gonna use the key here. And it's only for money. I think Chloe saved, so probably gonna do a reset. Or is it gonna attempt the hammer jump again?
They're out.
Well, it looks like we do have a winner in this race. So someone's found the hook shot. That person was Salty Fry, coming in first with a time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, 18 seconds. So these two, they're still going to be a winner of the region, of course, but they will not be the winner overall in the race. Alright, so Chloe's going back into Thieves Town in the meanwhile.
So, like you said, Salty Fry has finished, so our
Yeah.
runners also have access to IRC. If they're bothering to check IRC during the race, they'll know somebody has finished, and that kind of plays into metagame stuff for them, because they know that hookshot is going to be perhaps somewhere obvious that they missed that they could have boosted in. Bugnet in the big chest of Feasttown.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know.
So if I'm going to get metagamey here, I'm going to bet on it being in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I've pretty much... Well, actually, no, it has to be Turtle Rock. Unless it's in the Swamp Big Chest in Vanilla, that's all it can be. I pretty much milked every other choice.
Clay returning to Skull was possibly remembering they forgot about the big chest. So they get the Swamp Palace big key here. And then it's pretty much just diving dungeons again and again for Chloe. Unfortunately for them. Hitzian also going to check out the first chest of Hookshot Cave here. It was just a small key to Pod with one that Chloe needed, but did Chloe use a key going through the central door in the front of Paths of Darkness? Because that could be why they still haven't done the Dark Maze. Because I did notice they were down to 0 small keys when they opened up that the chest where the vanilla big key would be. And they were still on their compass count had them at 11 out of 14, so they haven't checked out the Dark Maze. So I think they just, if they do want to check that out and get the final Turtle Rock key, they're going to have to find that 6th Paths of Darkness small key, which is really unfortunate.
Hang on. It looks like we're finally going to see if it's vanilla.
Alright, yeah, Siriu next in chat pointing out that they did use that key in the front of Pod, so that puts them a key short for the Dark Maze. I really do think that Clay's getting too hasty and making mistakes here, which is so unfortunate, because it's putting them behind a lot more than they could have been. So Clay's going to check out the Swamp Palace big chest, and Hetzian's having that third small key from Dark Mason Pod can clear out all of Turtle Rock. So they're going to be checking out the lava chest here, going down to the laser bridge, checking that too.
It's either the lava chest here or it's the Swamp Big Chest. One of our two runners is about to find it. There's nothing else. We've done every other check.
All right, lava chest. Big key.
to this dungeon. It's vanilla
well.
baking. It's a vanilla
Hey.
baking to Turtle Rock.
Well, I was really at this point. It couldn't have been anywhere else but in Turtle Rock.
Okay, so that was up the rest of Turtle Rock, I guess.
But vanilla is kind of spicy for it.
Compass to Ice Palace. It's in Turtle Rock.
So this means, if we're going by key logic, this means that Clay has access to a Paths of Darkness small key somewhere in Turtle Rock, and then he would take that small key out of Turtle Rock, go back to Paths of Darkness, and get their final Turtle Rock key.
All right. That was the piece of the puzzle we were missing, apparently. And to be fair, that was incredibly convoluted. I would not have thought of that.
So Clay also going for the pyramid fair here. We know this was useless on Hitzian's side. Small key to put there. There it is. Small.
Oh my goodness.
So if Clay had decided to use all the small keys available to them in Turtle Rock, even if they checked out the lava chest, and they wouldn't have been able to go down to the bottom because they're lacking a big key, and yeah, they could have used their small keys in Turtle Rock, gotten that big key, then gotten that big key from the lava chest, then the small key, then the small key from the big chest. I don't think they could have locked themselves out in Turtle Rock. But
No.
yeah, that's their final key for the Dark Maze and pod for Chloe. But Hitzian has it. Hitzian already did Dark Maze, being able to pull off the hammer jump, so he doesn't care about that small key. So we're looking at a hookshot on either Laser Bridge or Trinex here. I don't think there's a... I think we've seen everything else. There's nowhere else it can be.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a map. It's the
The
map
Dark
to
Valley.
pod.
There it is.
There it is. Hookshot.
Go mode for
Hitzian is
Hitzian.
in go mode. Clay lacking that small key is Clay lacking that small key is going to give the hammer up another try. So this is like their third visit to Paths of Darkness at this point, and it is pretty rotten.
Yeah, this is a really rotten seed. That was a very buried hook shot. And on top of that, the boots hint, as well as the boots, were complete red herrings. They didn't help you at all.
Xiaoban 1987 with an 8-month resub for the main Speed Gaming channel. Thank you very much. Okay, second try for hammer jump for Clay. We couldn't pull this off last time. It's a very tricky jump to do. You've got to be pixel perfect. The vast majority of runners I see do this are usually using pause buffers for this. I think Clay is very inexperienced with the hammer jump.
Yeah, it's not a common strat you would do. Well,
it's
in,
common.
in normal random.
It's extremely common in Keysanity. Okay,
Got
they
it.
pull it off. There's a... Oh, it's a small key to Gangster. Okay, that's not the Turtle Rock key they need, but it's going to be popping up in the Dark Maze.
Yeah. And Chloe will now know. Half a Meyer. And should be right here. So Chloe should now know by process of elimination that it is that chest.
Tien also opens up the big chest in Swamp Palace, because why not?
Yeah.
Get the compass, more completion.
And that means Skullwood's big key was collected by him. I don't see it on the tracker. Point at this point.
Yes, Skullwood's small key was on the library ledge, and he did get that before going into Skullwood's for his second time. Now, there's a good chance he'd be checking out the extra chests here. I think he may be looking for silvers. He does have tempered sword, which puts him in a really good spot for cannon, but silvers saves you a lot of time. Oh no, he's skipping the flooded chests.
Yeah.
Probably going to be grabbing the waterfall chest here. Just bombs.
I don't blame him for not taking it. Gold Sword is going to be just a huge boon to him. And it looks like our tracker did actually mark it, but looks like the tracker was a little hungry. It happens. I've been on the receiving end of several of those inputs being eaten. In the few times I have tracked.
Chloe gets dead rock blocked and goes into the cave to reset the dead rocks. And Hitzian is just cutting through those Argai with the gold sword. Like a hot knife through butter? No, he has the butter sword. A hot butter through jelly?
I don't know. Nice quick kill as well. And with that, folks, we have our 7th crystal. And of course... Well, actually, no, we can't play the game. I was about to go into
we got that big key ages ago, man.
Yeah, I know. I forgot it was Keysanity. The rust is showing on my commentary. I haven't done this in a while. Chloe, meanwhile, taking a fall here in the first room of Turtle Rock for 2nd.
And Hitzian is on her way up to Gan's Tower. Maybe they'll take the hookshot way across to the east side. Or maybe they'll forget, because we haven't had the hookshot all seed.
Pretty much. It really doesn't matter which way they take.
They're going to the right side and taking the portal at the top. It's a bit quicker than going to the left side, but we've had to make many trips up the mountain now without that hookshot.
Yeah, this is the 3rd trip.
Alright, so Chloe's got to get over to the lava chest, pick up that big key, then pick up that small key. Well, they don't need the small key to pod now. They put off the hammer jump, but yep, they need that big key, then they just need to get to laser bridge, get the hookshot, and job done. But unfortunately for Chloe, they've had to do so many triple dips that it's... although Chloe had a big advantage early on in the seed and through most of the seed, just a couple of things skipped and here and there just have unfortunately put them quite a bit behind Hitzian at this point.
Yeah.
So, as typical for Ganon's Tower in Keysanity, don't need to go into the basement. You've got your small key, you've got your big key, you can just go to the top. Everything else is gravy, and I don't think Hitzian's going to be looking for any gravy in the basement.
I mean, Hitzian doesn't even need a small key from the basement. He has all 4. He can just go straight to the end.
Yeah, well, what I was saying is you need a small key to ascend to the top of Ganon's Tower, so you just need to find the big key outside and a small key outside, and you're essentially done. But if you're unfortunate enough to have to find the big key in Ganon's Tower itself, then you would need a bunch of small keys outside, yeah. So Hitzian's not going to be seeing much for Tower. He may check out the chests in the mini Helmasaur room and beyond just to try and get the silver arrows. But quite a few other locations they could be in, and quite likely won't be seeing them at all.
There's the Smoky Dark Palace that Chloe needed. So Chloe's now got all the Smokies of Dark Palace. And very soon we'll have the hook shot.
And depending on how they route laser bridge, we could be seeing the other 2 chests in there. A lot of people like to start from the south end and go upwards rather than from the north end.
Yeah.
Now, Hitzian not having silver arrows or half magic is making use of pods to take out the Stealth Ascendant Gauntlet. He's got red mail and quite a lot of life, so he can play a bit fast and loose with his life, but he's trying to be efficient with his other resources. Gold Sword helps a lot, of course.
Oh yeah.
No powder either, so I'm not going to be worrying about powdering the anti-fairy outside the Lammerlus room.
Yeah. And Chloe is opening the chest from top to bottom. So hookshot get and go mode as well.
Hitzian's got plenty of magic here for the Rizzo rooms, so just a quick block and a smash with a Canis Maya, and that takes out all those Rizobes. I never quite worked out why the Rizobes in Gannis Tower are kind of like Stalfos looking compared to every other Rizobe in the game. It's not like a Dark World model for them, because the Rizobes only pop up in the Dark World in the first place. So I wondered just why they like all bony and such. Doesn't really change anything. They still have like the same amount of health and damage as they usually do, as far as I know, anyway.
It's certainly a strange thing. I mean, the only place that has Wizrobes is Mizring Mire. Alright, as Chloe's entering Swamp, Hitsion's on the final floor. Not going for the top up, doesn't have the powder.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, he's skipping the chest there too, so he doesn't really care about Silvaz at this point. But he's got to watch his health, because he's low on health, and I don't know how many potions he has left. I've seen him use a red potion and a blue potion. I don't know how much he's got left, if he has anything left. So Moldorm falls like that are dangerous.
Very.
Okay, gets one hit in. He just needs another hit, and this Moldorm will be down. There we go.
Well, that'll help, I guess.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that. Yeah, I specifically called that out. Half magic could be in Moldorm's chest, and it would still be useful. And look where it is.
I'm more worried right now about Hitsion's health than his
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, if he takes a blue ball to the face from Agatu here, he's going to be in serious trouble. So,
Yeah.
if we're not doing Aga 1 today, we've got to hope for no blue balls.
Yeah. Nice double. I think it was only one hit, though.
There's a blue ball, but Hitzian avoids the hit.
Yeah, and so did Aghanim. Oh, there's
a takes a
attack by
hit
the
from regular
shot.
projectile. Oh, hey, silver arrows in the flooded chest of Swamp. So they were right there. Hitzian skipped them. Okay.
And down
Okay,
goes
Agatu,
and now it is time to fight the pig.
with half a heart left. I think he's not going to be
he's
diving
gonna
into
go
the
get the
pig
fairy.
just yet.
I think he's gonna go get the fairy.
So one last bit of RNG in the seed. What is Ganon going to... what anecdote does Ganon have us today? I'm hoping for cheese facts. Okay, grain facts. Never mind. Got it halfway close.
I think we need to shred that one. Oh, there's a death.
Yeah, Hitzian didn't go down to take a fairy and immediately took a hit from a fire bat in phase 2 and takes the game over. But it does reset their health. So now they have much more health for their second try on Ganon. Chloe gets their last crystal and is now on their way to Gan's Tyrant themselves. This is a nice spot for Ganon to be in, and as you see, Hitzian is just using those Pegasus boots to dash into him to avoid getting the knockback into the bats. But when the bats get loose from Ganon, Hitzian takes quite a few hits and is down to 1 heart again. If he takes another
does
5
indicate there's a fallback.
yeah. Doesn't want to take another 5 bat to the face or a hug. So as long as he hits Ganon quickly in phase 3, he will avoid extra 5 bats. Okay, phase 4 now. There's the arrows into Swamp Palace, and Hitzian is probably thinking,
Now, Hitzian still has to be a little bit careful here. One misstep could be lethal, and he'll have to do this entire fight over again. Does get the torch push though. 3 spins down, 9 more to go. On a good pace.
if you're having to do a spin strat on Ganon, the Gold Sword helps immensely. It saves you quite a few spins compared to the Tempered. With Gold Sword, it's mostly luxury compared to the Tempered Sword, but in niche scenarios like this, it does come in handy.
I think it's still 12 spins with Tempered.
Is it 12 hit for Tempered?
Yeah,
Oh,
because because gold spins are not any more powerful than gold
okay, right, yeah. Okay, my mistake.
Anyway, get your G's in chat for Hitzion1367, who has finished the race.
Yeah, he makes it across the bridge, and I can now tell you that he finishes in 7th place overall with an official time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 32 seconds. So, GG to Hitzian.
Yeah. The ones that came before him, we've already mentioned Salty Fry, who won the race. Other people who have finished: Big Duncan with a time of 1:48.17, Zelga Desan 1:54 or 53, Thalon99 and 4th with 1:58.41. Right behind him is Matt7898 with 1:59.27. Shire in 6th with 2:01.05. It's the team in 6. We'll see about if he wants an interview this time.
He does have a dot comment in IRC. Everything wrong, winky face. Hitzian should be joining us for an interview pretty shortly. For now, we're going to see how Clay gets up the gauntlet in Ganstar. So, hey, Silver Arrows! Really nice to have for the Stelphos and the Zazax in here.
Indeed. What a seed, though, this was. That hook shot, I'm just still mind crushed on that one. I don't know how to explain it better.
At least it wasn't vanilla.
I was actually kind of half hoping it was vanilla because of that whole binky shape, but no, it ended up being a dud. A big old red herring involving the boots, which were not even required this seed. Ugh.
Clay kind of doing a frustration bonk in the Lamb Merlis room. Or just to inflate the bonk stats, because, you know, the best stat to inflate.
And we are now joined by Hitzion. GG's, what a seed this was. Ugh.
GG's.
So, if you had went south in Swamp, that's where the silvers were in the twin flooded chests.
Sorry, what?
The silvers were in the left of the 2 flooded chests.
Oh no.
So yeah, just a minor, just like a 30-second detour maybe at most. But you still did pretty good regardless. I was kind of worried about your health there. Walk us through the seed though. This was a tragedy with that hook shot.
Yeah, not only the hook shot, I did everything wrong in the seat. I missed my mirror so long, so I had to double dip every area again and lost already a lot of time. And then I gambled at the end a lot of things and nothing of them paid off, like leaving Turtle Rock after the Eastern Palace key and the right side. Don't expect it that there's the tier big key now behind 4 small keys normally in logic. Or is that only an entrance that is 4 small key locked, the lava chest?
We were kind of talking about it in chat ourselves, because like Clay Power wasn't able to get into the Dark Mason pod due to their key uses, and of course the last small key for pod was in the big chest in Turtle Rock. So Clay put off they are really inexperienced with the hammer jump, and they tried to do it earlier and took a couple of deaths trying to get over there, and eventually they did manage to pull it off, but way later in the seed than they could have done. So they were missing that last Turtle Rock small key for ages and ages. So they didn't actually go over to the like big chest to check that out and get that other big key. Well, I mean the big key in the lava chest, and get down to Laser Bridge and get the hook shot, because they're just missing that small key. So we were actually kind of discussing it, how the key logic would work, and I'm really not sure on the details for that. So, but other than that, I have got to call out that massive bait of the boots and the big key all seed long.
Yeah, that was annoying. We were wondering for a second if it was going to be vanilla hook shot, but then it turned out to just be the compass in that chest.
I expected something like in Maya is now the Turtle Rock big key to get back to Turtle Rock and get the hook shot, something like that. That's why I mirrored up. Don't expect it that the next 2 chests have the big key for Turtle Rock. And field already behind, so that was my choice at this point, and it was bad.
Yeah, I don't blame for the actions that she did in the seed. It was just that hook shot, really. That hook shot was the only really bad thing about the seed. Everything else was fairly okay. Well, except with the exception of the boots being pretty late and not required. Anyway, we have Chloe Prower here on the Ganon fight starting.
Yeah, gonna have a bit of an easier time here, because Clay did pick up the silver, so no spins necessary, just got to turn Ganon blue and shoot him 4 times.
Yep.
One thing that Clay, well, we'll talk about it when if Clay decides to join for an interview, but one thing they did was they actually went to Death Mountain quite a bit before you and Shahrazrala's Hearts, and they got the mirror, which then got them to Death Mountain, to Self Death Mountain, and got that flute much earlier than you did. So their early game stuff was like way more efficient, and they got way more items during it. But
Yeah.
it's got just kind of some late gambles, and the fact that the dungeons turned into
Ooh!
ooh.
Chloe almost falling on Ganon. Was over the pit, but manages to tilt back on stage. Very close call there.
And I only found my mirror because of the boots and for Eastern. That was the worst thing in the seat. Boots and Eastern, but it's behind the big key. And you get baited, you are already happy about your boots, and then you don't get that.
Yeah, but at least it led you the right way. But also get your GG in the chat, folks, for Chloe Pryor, who is now finished in 10th place with a time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, 25 seconds. Artie, Walsh, and Crawford, respectively, finishing 8th and 9th with 2 hours, 13 minutes, 21 seconds, and 2 hours, 13 minutes, 50 seconds. What a seed, what a seed. I'm still just looking at this and just like, ah! Bombos was also an annoying spot, now that I think about it. The one spot that you would want it for, Cold Stare, and it's on Cold Stare.
Yeah, but it was not required in this seed.
No, it was not, but given where Half Magic was, it would have been very nice to use on Cold Stare, but Cold Stare was guarding it. So kind of a thanks, I guess, kind of moment there.
Yeah, Chloe should be joining us shortly for an interview. They are getting ready right now.
Indeed. Whew. I clearly have a little bit of rust and rock off. Oh, hey, Chloe, how's it going?
Hi! Oh my gosh.
GG's.
I got beat up by the logic, I think.
I think everyone got beat up a little bit by that hook trap placement. That was in a really bad spot.
Well, the logic is that you needed 6 keys to do the Dark Maze and pods. So after my little screw up there, I decided it wasn't worth it. And then you also needed the big key and technically, I guess, 4 small keys to get that middle chest in Turtle Rock, but that's unless it actually has the big key in it. And it was just a mess.
Yeah, at that point, at the time you were checking the big key, Hitzion was actually checking the Turtle Rock lava chest, and we found that it was the vanilla key. So we knew at that point it either had to be true vanilla, which it wasn't, which we made the boots really, really unfortunate, or it was in Turtle Rock. We were down to those locations. We thought we were down to those 2 chests until that big key showed up.
I mean, we were like the 3 small keys that we found for Turtle Rock were required. I guarantee the 4 small key was somewhere stuffed in Ganon's tower, because that one was only required to get to Trinex, which wasn't required at all. So, like, you had to find one of the small keys was in the Dark Maze and Pod, which means you technically had to go to Turtle Rock to get a small pod key, to go to Pod to get a small pod key, to go back to Turtle Rock. And it was just like hookshot. Like I was drawing so dead, and then I forgot the right side of.
I had the same problem with the logic. I expected that the lava chest need 4 small keys, but that's only an entrance, because you can enter the dungeon from each side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and then I mirrored out after the eastern big key.
Well, I mean, if the big key isn't in that chest, it requires 4 small keys. But if it is, then it only requires the 2. Which is so obnoxious. Then I went back to Thieves Town, I dived Swamp Palace twice. Dived Pod 3 times. Oh, it was just fun.
The one thing that really put you back a ways was your struggles with a hammer jump there in Palace of Darkness. How much have you practiced it? Because it's a really tricky trick, and I can't do it myself yet.
I mean, I practiced it a bunch back when there was a Keysanity tournament, and during the cross keys, I knew it for a while, and then cross keys ended for me, so I haven't done it keys.
So pretty much the best way to sum it up is you just needed to derust a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I got it eventually. I have a sword setup for it. I know there's a pause buffer setup that's completely better than what I'm doing. But I just haven't learned it, so... It wouldn't have changed much. I still had to... Well, I mean, I guess it would have... You needed the key back there, so I guess the earlier I did it would have been the better. But I still would have went back to pod after I got some more small keys because I was drawing dead.
So, overall, what did you guys think of this seed?
Not good.
Well, Wolfman 2000 in chat is pointing out that he rolled a seed, so please do direct your vitriol at him. I think he's asking for it.
I think he is, yeah.
I
didn't want to mention it by name, but yeah.
I mean, I felt good early in the seed. I felt like I was making a lot of good plays. I was really happy for putting off Eastern until I found that the big key in Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah,
And
I think
got
like-
rewarded for the boots for that.
But yeah, I can agree. This early game of the seed was really good. It was that hook shot that really drove the seed down.
And the mower.
How long did it take you to find Mirror? I had it really early.
35 or 40 minutes. I did everything already. And then I found in Thieves on the Hint for Eastern boots. And then I went there and found my mower, but not the boots.
Oh, I did Sahasrara before I went into. I did Hype Cave to Dig Game, then I did Sahasrara because I wanted to do Eastern real fast. I'm not sure why. I just went there, but I got the mirror for it, and
Yeah,
That
I
was
did
really-
everything but not Eastern and pod area. Only these two things was left.
Yeah, it was kind of a different thing. You were following what items you did find, and Chloe, meanwhile, decided to stay in the early spheres, if that's what I think you were doing, just to make sure that you didn't miss anything important.
I mean, I really like finding mirror before I do like a bunch of crap in Thieves Town or on the mountain. But
Well,
that doesn't always happen.
I've run out of things to ask you guys, so any final thoughts on the seed? Other than
Easier
shit.
hook shot next time.
Throwing this away, never to speak of it again.
Yeah, thank you guys for commentating, tracking, restreaming,
Yes.
rolling a
Okay.
good seed.
Yeah, thank you, Hitzion, and thank you, Chloe, for being our two recent runners. Make sure to follow these two as well. They'll, as here on Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 226, so you don't miss any racing action, not just Link to Best Randomizer. Of course, also, Revolving Ocelot did a really great job on commentary. He should have all the praise here on the commentary team. It's me.
Thank you, and also thank you to
White Wolf is our
for, for coming, Wolflink, White Wolfers for tracking, and of course, Histian and Clay for putting on an excellent race today.
I think I lost some of my cut out there because I'm pretty sure I just said that. Oh well. Anyway, folks, I've been Wolfling Series 0. You've been watching us do the Link's Best Ride of the Day late race. From all of us here at Link's Best Randomizer, we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.